Hello everyone, sorry it's been a while, just kind of sort of had a complicated time doing this sort of painting right behind the notepad, as you can see there. I should have known that gouache was kind of a tough color to use, well, color medium anyhow. Very different from watercolor, so to speak, but well, I'm just sort of glad I, well, sort of conquered it with much less desirable results, but anyway. So I guess I'll just start off with what's in the notebook so far. So I think I've drawn a lot since the last update, so bear with me here. So here we just have a blank-faced figure with a sort of line pattern through it. I don't know exactly what well, it's not really a lot of context to all these images that I've drawn really, but just something I've felt or had ideas about, or something vague like that. But nonetheless, I do think they're the purest works I've done so far. It's a fascist dummy, crash dummy anyhow. Image of a head, and inside is a fiery furnace. Kind of like the red and black sort of consistency. And here's just a sketch of I think this big winged creature sort of stabbing meeting desk full of demons, I guess, on each side. And it's just a skull, really. Couldn't sleep the one night and just decided to start sketching, so this is what came out of that. I was able to sleep later that night. So this pretty much speaks for itself. Just what I think of, well, most people. Well, I don't know, just ideas, stuff. Another zombie, head caved in, pain, as you can see there. Just the very essence of it. And as you can see there, random stuff really I would just draw to be like I think the transport of souls into the underworld. Just go through these skulls and everything. Just a guy hanging from a sort of pole. I don't know what that was. Just a side view of the fascist dummy, crash dummy. Inside of one of the buildings in sort of City of Hell series I've been doing. I'll turn this one upside down. Yeah, this is just my experimenting with the gouache paints. It didn't come out as well as I had hoped, because I had to use less of them. It's not as, well, satisfactory as watercolors. I know that now. And it's just more experimenting with the gouache paints. Don't like how dry it looks, really. I mean, different from watercolor, it is kind of a tricky medium to do. And it's more experimenting with the gouache paints, all these pages anyhow. I think this came out okay, but I had to use less of the paints though, just so it won't look so horrible. I guess a zombie or something like that. It's got a smiley. More experimenting with gouache paints and textures and everything. And this came out extremely well. And it's just a more clear view of the elevators in the underworld. It's sort of like open up and you know, victims can just walk out to their fate. And I don't know what these are. I think it's supposed to be symbols of where the skull elevators are supposed to be. It's a lot of tinkering of ideas. And so over here we have, well, I guess a quasi version of Leatherface from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it came out all right, but I think I should have just laid off more on the gouache. So, screaming blank face. And here's just my experimentation with the gouache and the red. So the gouache red, I mean, it looks very much like blood. and more desirable too, I'll give it that. I mean, aside from watercolor, which I prefer to use, gouache, red crimson really has the blood color I was looking for. Just almost black. Real excellent. So I'm glad I experimented with that. This is yet to be finished, but just sort of wanted to show anyway. I think we're all familiar with this. Backstabbing. The essential life experience, I suppose. Anything beyond that? No, nothing else, at least not yet drawn. So this is kind of what has been sort of taking up most of my time. But I'm glad it's, you know, finished up finally. Like I said, gouache is very sort of tricky to use. So yeah, it's supposed to be one of those cranes in the City of Hell where, you know, these buildings just sort of don't build themselves. So this kind of contraption sort of just does the trick. So you see the skulls there, and stuff's supposed to come out of that, and that little hand there is supposed to take the stuff and sort of make buildings with them. And someone's supposed to be driving it from that skull compartment there. So yeah, favorite image really. Just wanted a statue type thing, not just a regular crane sort of thing. But I like it so far. The paint was kind of tricky to use. I didn't like how it just made everything look dry, and of course I had to redraw it all over in ink again because it just looked, you know, kind of hideous and too dry as well. But it was well worth it. So very excellent. I'm just glad I took my time with it. So anyway, I guess that's about it. So it's almost Halloween, so I hope you have a happy, safe Halloween. And so I'll make more videos after this. I do have a tutorial of Jason's hockey mask setup, so I'll just wait for that. So till then, and take care and have a happy Halloween.